Hello friends, welcome to the session on compilers. In this session, we'll be discussing about finite automata. In this session, we will see what we mean by finite automata. Before that, we will see what we mean by regular expression, how the regular expressions are written for the different structures. Also, we will see what are the different types of finite automata. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with a regular expression. In case of compiler, we know that a program that is being written in a high-level language is fed to the compiler. The first phase of the compilation is called as the lexical analysis. To the input of the lexical analyzer, we feed a source code, and at the output of the lexical analyzer, we will generate a sequence of tokens. As far as the programming languages are concerned, there are different types of tokens such as identifier, decimal number, real number or fractional number, operator, keywords. So these are the different tokens that are available with any programming language. Now, when we think of the tokens, then the tokens are built from the finite vocabulary, and every token will have a definite structure. It is based upon the pattern. Every token will have a pattern. It will have a definite structure. And whenever we want to describe the structure of the token, then the structure of the token can be described by a special expression, and this expression is being called as a regular expression. Every regular expression is being defined over a certain alphabets, and every regular expression will denote a set of the strings. And we know that a set of the strings is just nothing but a language, and therefore we can say that every regular expression will denote a language. So whenever we have any regular expression R, then that regular expression is for an alphabet, say sigma, and you can say that that regular expression is a kind of pattern that will define the strings, or that will describe the strings. It is possible to give the set definition of regular expression. The set of the strings that are defined by the regular expression are termed as either phi, where phi, you can say that it is a regular expression and it will denote the empty set. Then the regular expression can be an epsilon, where epsilon will stand for an empty string, and it will denote the regular expression of the set that will contain only the empty string. Now, whenever we consider any string S, then that string S itself is also a regular expression, and it will denote the set containing the string S only. Now, if we have been given A and B as the two regular expressions, then we can say that A or B, that is A vertical line B, is a regular expression, and it will denote a set of A and B, A comma B. Similarly, when A and B are the regular expressions, then AB or A dot B is also a regular expression, and it will denote the set AB. Similarly, the closure of A, which we write as the A and its star, then it will denote the regular expression of 0 or more number of repetitions of A. So the closure of A is equal to the set containing epsilon, that is an empty string, followed by A, A, and in this way we can write the infinite terms. Say for example, we have been given a regular expression A or B or C, and then its closure, then this regular expression will denote a set containing the strings epsilon, because epsilon will appear because of this closure operation, where closure will stand for 0 or more number of times appearance, and therefore epsilon will appear, followed by A, B, C, AA, AB, AC, BA, BB, BC, and in this way there can be infinite number of terms in the set. It is possible that whenever we think of the different tokens in a programming language, then for the tokens we can write the regular expressions. Say for example, we can write for letter either small letters or capital letters from A to Z. Digit can be defined as either 0 or 1 or 2 up to 9. Digits can be defined as digit followed by the closure of digit, that is, there is at least one digit. Or the same thing can be said as the positive closure of the digit. Identifier can be written as letter followed by the sequence of letter or digits. Sometimes the underscore is also allowed, and therefore we can write identifier is equal to letter in the bracket closure of letter or digit or underscore. Fraction can be defined as dot followed by digits or an empty string epsilon. Exponent can be written as capital E or small e followed by plus sign, minus sign, or an empty string followed by digits or an empty string. Number can be written as digits either in fraction form or in exponent form. Operators can be written as either plus operator, minus operator, multiplication operator, division operator, greater than or equal to operator, or less than or equal to operator, or assignment operator. Parenthesis can be written as left parenthesis or right parenthesis. So one can easily find that whatever the different tokens that we may came across while writing the programs in the programming language, then all such token structure can be described by making the use of regular expressions. Now, whenever we think of implementing the regular expression, then we need to discuss about the finite automata. Finite automata, one can say, is a kind of a model that is used to implement the regular expression. Or one can say that the finite automata is a transition diagram that can be used to recognize the tokens that are specified by the regular expression. So for example, we can give a definition of finite automata, where finite automata is a set which consists of the symbols such as S, sigma, S0, F, and mu, where S will stand for the finite set of states. Sigma will stand for the input symbol alphabet. That is, it is a set of input symbols. S0 is the state which can be called as a start state. So out of the several states of the finite automata, one state must be the start state, which is S0. F, you can say that it is a set of final or accepting states. Mu, you can say that a set of transitions or moves from one state into another state. So finite automata is useful for us whenever we want to implement any regular expression. Transition diagrams can be drawn by making the use of the symbols. So whenever we need to draw a transition diagram, then it is necessary to make the use of certain symbols. For example, whenever we want to indicate a state, then the state can be indicated by a circle sign. Whenever there is a transition, then transition can be indicated by arrow. Whenever there is a start state, then the start state can be indicated by arrow followed by a circle. And whenever there is a final state, then the final state is being indicated by a double circle. It is also possible that you can write a number for every state or some name to every state. So for example, suppose we have been given a regular expression A, B, positive closure of C, of which the whole positive closure, that is the positive closure of A, B followed by the positive closure of C. Now, whenever we think of such regular expression, then it is possible to draw a transition diagram of this form. So initially we will start with the start state. The first edge will be labeled as A. The second edge will be labeled as B. The third edge will be labeled as C. Now, since there is a positive closure of C, it means that there can be more number of appearance of C, and therefore here again we will add one more edge and which is labeled as C. Also, it is possible that we can have more sequences of A, B, C, and therefore from the final state we will add an edge to the second stage labeled as an A. And therefore we can have a sequence A, B, C, and we can have many more sequences of this form. So this transition diagram will exactly give the structure of the regular expression. And one can easily understand the diagram follows the regular expression. Say for example, we define an identifier letter followed by letter or digit. So whenever we start, then we can go to the next state on the age later. And then there can be a more number of sequence of letters and digits. So whenever we came across any other delimiter, then we will end the transition. And therefore, one can say that for the identifier, this can be the transition diagram. So whenever we write any regular expression for identifier, then this can be the transition diagram for this regular expression. Now we will go for the different types of finite automata. There are two types of finite automata. The first type of the finite automata is called as the non-deterministic finite automata, or NFA. The second finite automata is called as the deterministic finite automata, or DFA. So what is the difference between NFA and DFA? One can find that in NFA there can be an empty string transition. That is, it is possible that you can go from one state to the another state on the age epsilon, where epsilon will stand for an empty string. Also, it is possible that there can be a transition to two or more states from some state. As shown in this diagram, suppose we are going from this state to this state on the age labeled as A. And also we are going from this stage to another stage on the age labeled as A. So the question is, when the age is labeled same, then which path we should adopt? And therefore one can easily find that the NFAs are difficult to program. So it is not possible for us to write the computer programs for NFA. And therefore it is necessary to obtain or convert NFAs into DFAs. In DFA, there is no empty string transition, and there is a transition to one state only from some state on the certain age. So whenever we have been given a token, then we need to describe the token by the regular expression. The regular expression can be converted into NFA by using some algorithm. Once we obtain the NFA, then NFA can be converted into DFA by using another algorithm. And once you have the DFA, then it is possible that you can write the computer programs for the DFA. So as far as deterministic finite automata is concerned, you can find that you can write the computer programs. Now here it is a simple C program which will illustrate some of the functionality of the lexical analyzer. Suppose we have written a C program in which we will identify if the given string is a keyword or not. Now this is a prototype program, and therefore here we have considered only certain keywords such as if, else, while, do, and break only. It is possible that you can add many more other keywords also. So initially we have included the corresponding header files. Then we have defined a function of the type boolean is keyword, and the character is being passed as an argument. Now this function will return the true value if the input string is among these keywords such as if or else or while or do or break. And if we enter something else, then this function will return a false value. Now in the main function, initially we will assign a string Suppose here we have assigned the string if if, and then we call the function. Now we know that if is already there, and therefore this function will return a true value, and therefore we will print the message that it is a keyword. And finally, we will return 0 to our main function. So whenever you type this program on any online C compiler and when you execute it, then you will get the output message that if is a keyword, because we have inputted the string as if. But if you enter any other string apart from these keywords, then you will get the result that it is not a keyword. Thank you, friends, for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by finite automata and what are the different types of finite automata. Thank you all for viewing the session.